Isn't that a girl's job? So, back in college, our friend group had this girl named Sarah who had the most backwards views on gender equality I've ever seen. Like, she'd pick and choose when she wanted equality and when she wanted old school gender roles, depending on what benefited her. We're all broke college kids, right? Living off ramen and whatever our parents send us. But every time we went out to eat, Sarah would sit there with her arms crossed when the check came. She'd go, "Obviously the guys are paying." I'm like, "Sarah, we all go to the same school. We're all equally broke. Why should we pay for your food?" And she'd roll her eyes and be like, "Because you're men. It's your responsibility to take care of women." But then the next week, when her roommate needed help carrying a mini fridge up 2 flights of stairs, guess what Sarah said? "This is definitely a job for the guys. We girls aren't built for heavy lifting." I'm standing there thinking, wait, weren't you just talking about gender equality in our sociology class yesterday? It got worse. We're at this house party and the trash is overflowing everywhere. Sarah points at me and my buddy Mike and goes, "Can you guys take care of that? Trash is totally a guy thing." A guy thing. Taking out trash is apparently coded into our DNA or something. But the absolute worst was when we were planning our spring break trip. Sarah wanted to go to this expensive resort in Florida. When we told her we couldn't afford it, she got mad. She goes, "Well, the guys should just pay for the girls' portion. That's what gentlemen do." Mike actually laughed and said, "Sarah, that's literally the opposite of equality." And she snapped back, "I never said I wanted equality in everything. I want equality when it helps me." At least she was honest about it. So we end up compromising on this ski cabin in Colorado instead. Way cheaper, but we're all splitting it equally. First night, we cook this huge dinner. Pasta, garlic bread, salad, the works. By the time we're done eating, the sink is completely destroyed. Dishes everywhere, pots and pans stacked to the ceiling. Everyone's just sitting around, too full and lazy to deal with it. That's when Sarah stands up and announces, "Okay guys, time to clean up. Kitchen duty is definitely your department." I just stared at her. This girl had literally eaten more than anyone else at the table, but somehow cleaning was our job. Something inside me just snapped. I stood up, looked right at her, and said, "Actually, Sarah, I think all the girls should handle the dishes. Isn't that a girl's job?" The entire cabin went dead silent. You could hear the wind outside and someone's stomach digesting dinner. Everyone slowly turned to look at Sarah because they all knew exactly what I was doing. Her face went bright red and she started sputtering, "There's no such thing as girl jobs. That's completely sexist. Everyone should help with chores regardless of gender." I just smiled and said, "Oh, so you mean like how paying for dinner and taking out trash aren't guy jobs either?" She opened her mouth to argue back, but nothing came out because she knew I had her. Our friend Emma, who'd been quiet this whole time, started laughing. Then Mike joined in. Pretty soon, the whole room was cracking up while Sarah stood there, getting more and more frustrated. She finally stomped off to her room and slammed the door. The rest of us ended up doing the dishes together, guys and girls, while Sarah pouted upstairs. The next morning at breakfast, she tried to pull the same stuff again. When someone needed to grab more coffee from the car, she pointed at the guys. Before she could even finish her sentence, Emma cut her off and said, "Sarah, we can all walk to a car. It's not that hard." Sarah never brought up guy jobs again for the rest of the trip. And honestly, our friend group was way more chill after that. We all lost touch with her after graduation. But I really hope she figured out that you can't just pick and choose when you want equality.